Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Monday, January 2nd. Happy New Year. I hope y'all have had a wonderful couple of weeks. Um, we have. It's been mostly good. Um, on Christmas Eve, we got up early, went to my brother's house in Houston for lunch and celebrated with him and his family. My parents were there. Um, And then my parents and the rest of us went over to Dax's mom's house, and we had dinner over there and did Christmas with them and had a great time at both, and then headed home. For Christmas Eve dinner, I was making lasagna and my refrigerator was full, and I was fretting about what was I going to do because I had all the food for Christmas dinner and the stuff for making cookies for some of our clients. So I was fretting what I was going to do with this lasagna. And then it occurred to me that um, we were in the middle of an Arctic freeze, so I went and put it in the car. It was colder in the car than it was in my refrigerator. On Saturday morning when I got up, it was 10 degrees outside, so the lasagna was fine. um, what else have we been up to? Same thing as everybody. We did that on Christmas Eve. We had to go and come back in the same day, which makes for a very long day. That's about 7 hours of driving for us, plus the 12 hours of festivities while we were in town. So anyway, we did that. We have to come back home because mostly the dogs, the cats can be left alone, but the dogs can't. And we obviously, even if we could leave them outside in those kind of temperatures, we couldn't. But I would be afraid to take our dogs to a kennel now, or God forbid they get out. Somebody would probably call the animal people and report us for abuse. Our dogs are old. We have a 14-year-old pit bull and a husky mix that's about the same age. They're both shelter dogs. The pit bull was only 3 or 4 months old when we got him, so we do know how old he is pretty close, but the husky mix is just a guess because every dog we've ever gotten, they've said, oh, it's about 2 years old, except for the pit bulls. It was obvious he was not. But because of their old age, they can't keep the weight on. I mean, we give them canned food. We've moved to like small dog dry food in case they have trouble biting through the large dog food. And we now are pouring like bacon grease or whatever to get them to eat as much as they will, but they just don't hold the weight. They're just, some of our other dogs have gotten fatter as they aged. These two have gotten skinnier and they absolutely look malnourished, but they are not. Anyway, we celebrated Christmas here. We had a great time. Abigail was in Houston with her boyfriend. Wyatt was here for the first part of the day, and then he went over to his girlfriend's house. I'm sorry if the lighting gets all weird, but I think there's a storm moving in. So anyway, with the freeze and the cold temperatures, even though we left the water running, the pipes still froze. The pipe in the kitchen to the kitchen sink, it took like, I don't know, till 4:30 in the afternoon on Friday for that one to thaw. So Friday night we just shut off the water and drained the lines, and Saturday morning when I got up, I turned the water back on. But some of them, what water was left in the lines, or I think there was already some frozen water in the line. So when I turned the water back on, it just pushed all the ice and it was like they were still frozen anyway. So, but the water never freezes in my bathroom, mine and Dax's. So, you know, I don't really have to worry about that much, right? Just kidding. That just means everybody uses our bathroom. That's where we have to wash dishes and all the good stuff. So that was, you know, as hard as it got. I can't complain. I can't complain. Other people had way more issues, and we really don't even have much PVC pipe in our house. It's some kind of Flosstube, so when the pipes freeze, it actually has a little bit of give, which is fantastic. I won't complain about it at all. So I guess we can get to some stitching. You know, I'm going to ramble in between. This one's probably going to be a long one because it's kind of, you know, my wrap up for the year and all of that also. So since last time, things I have stitched on. I've worked on this one. I don't even know where this kit came from, to be honest. I'm only doing this top part up here. All of this. I'm not doing the words. If you've watched me, sorry, my scissors are stuck on there. If you've watched me for any length of time, this one's all about having friends over to your house, and you know that almost nobody ever comes over to my house. So, this is where we are. I think this last time I came and I filled in this stuff and like these flowers and the bees and stuff. I think all I had was the outside border, this little thing in the blue. So, that might be the only time I've stitched on this one in the past year. I'm really not sure. This was one of my new starts. Miniature Sampler 7. Designed by Sandra Sullivan. It says designs that reflect our American heritage. It's from Homespun Elegance. This was in a box, a huge box of goodies that Sherry Smith had sent me. I started this one with a little sheet. It's a big, impressive start. This is a piece of scrap that, I don't know, I dyed. I think I dyed it with food coloring, just playing around a while back. I've stitched other stuff. This is just a little scrap. I think that's going to be a gate that's behind the little sheet. It's in the wrong color. I was looking because, as you can see, there are 3 patterns in here. And I was looking at the color chart, I think maybe for this one, because it's right under this. So I pulled all the wrong colors. So now, and I discovered it because I stitched that in, and there was another, I was going to do some more, and the symbol in the pattern wasn't anywhere in the chart, you know. The symbol in the chart was not down with the threads where I had pulled from, so I was like, what the heck? Only to discover that I had done it the wrong way, so that's got to be pulled out, and I've got to redo the threads. But because that's a new start, and it's probably, what, a year before I'll touch it again, maybe, I don't know. I decided that I'm not going to deal with it right now, and I put a note in there to myself telling me what happened and what needed to be done going forward. Then I worked on this one. When I spin my wheels, I spin my wheels, I do. When I spin my like little decision roulette thing, if it lands on like for me to stitch something for Valentine's Day or any holiday, I pull whatever my oldest whip for that holiday is, and that's what I work on. But I didn't have hardly anything. I've bought more. I had hardly anything for Valentine's Day. So this one isn't really that old, comparatively speaking. but it is my oldest Valentine's whip. So, I thought I just moved that out of the way. This is on a piece of 18 count, because I buy that by the yard, that I don't know if I just coffee tea dyed it, if I dyed it with something else, and then, well, I don't coffee tea dye anything. It's always with coffee. So I don't know if I just dyed it with something else and then dunked it in the coffee or what, but there you go. This time I worked some more on the little white around the heart, and I put in all of this red on her little dress. This is the bottom of this page. That's it, all the way across this page. So now I'm just going to work my way up until I get it. This is probably about the halfway mark where her little arm is. But anyway, I really like working on this one. I don't know if it's the colors or what. I'm setting my stuff in a little tub. I'm not just like throwing it on the floor. I look on my calendar for the week, and generally I will pull out what I'm going to work on for the week. Like on Sunday, I'll pull everything out for the week and I stick it in that little bin. And I leave it there until I do a video. That makes it easy to know what I've stitched on. Out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, March, April of 1986. The front cover looks like this. I'm working on the Cats, Baskets, and Quilts. It's the Amish one. I'm doing all three of them. Eventually, I mean, they're all three started. But this one, I am farther along than either of the other two. This go round, I think I put in one more stripe here, but I filled in, I did this. I had started that one last time, and so then I finished it. So it doesn't look like it when I'm looking at it from there. That's better, because I have tried to figure out how to get the camera to stop doing that, but I cannot figure it out. I'm not that tech savvy. Anyway, there are 3 different shades of gray in there. It's not one solid color. I worked just a tiny bit on Winter in a Cup. I bought this off Etsy. You can read the name of the designer there. Yeah, because I can't say that. This one I saw, yeah, I was looking to see if I could find a shop name for you, but I can't. Heather Confetti Stitcher was working on this. This one, I mean, I probably started 2 years ago, but this is where I am. I started down at the bottom. I think hers is in the middle, and she's like, you know, got the cabin almost done on hers. Anyway, I saw it and I really liked it, so I went and bought it. I had done a whole bunch of this and was off, so I had to go rip it all back out and kind of start over. So this time, I mean, I didn't start over this time, but I only had a couple of rows done before, so I just went and filled in some more. There's a lot of blue. A lot of blue. This is another one of my new starts. I started this one yesterday. I guess it's my New Year, new start. This year I'm doing the start every Sunday again. Although the other one with the sheep I started on December 26th. I did not stitch it all on Christmas Day. I got up just as early and came out here. But I still had presents to wrap. And mostly the issue with that is because I think I'm done and then I go, oh yeah, I got that. I'm still finding stuff. Seriously, it's pathetic. So I kept remembering different things. So I did not stitch on Christmas Day. So one of them I did start on Monday this year. Anyway, this one is what I started. And again, just like the last new start I showed you, I think I'm going to go and restart it. Here's what I've done. This is like on this hat band. It's like right down in here. That's where I am. I went and bought the floss, all of it. I might have had a couple of colors to get this up. I like every project kitted completely, which is a little nuts when you get so many projects. But I don't like to worry about it. I like to pick it up and be able to stitch it. I wanted to start this. I thought it would be great to start, because the middle's like right in here. Get all of the top of the hat done and the band, and, you know, just really give it a good go at the start. Michael's was out of both of the colors, or all three of the colors in the crown of the hat. All of them. I didn't have them, and Michael's was out of those, of course. So I started somewhere else. Anyway, I wasn't paying attention when I started it, which I'm sure comes as a huge surprise. But look at all this white, the curtains and in the quilt. And wedding ring quilt is one of my favorite classic quilt patterns. I love them. I wasn't paying attention to how much white there is in this. And I think stitching it on white will be a nightmare. So I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm going to start it over. I'm not sure what color. I'm thinking maybe a pale blue, or a really, not so much that it looks white, but maybe a really light gray. I'm trying to think of something that will make the colors just really stand out, but I don't want the fabric too prominent. So there you go. That's me. Making it as much trouble as possible. I only want the impossible. That's all I'm asking. Okay, the next things, sorry, those are things that I worked on that were not part of my 20 whips for the year. Why am I being at a loss for words? I don't know. So now we'll deal with the 20 and what my 20 were. I believe I finished 7. I have my little book here. I can look. Yes, I finished 7. I'm sorry for all the noise. I have stacks everywhere. So, I have to tell y'all this. I sent I have several aunts. I sent a picture of the kids from Addison's wedding to one of my aunts who had a stroke a couple of years ago. And she called my mom. Sometimes my life is like living in an Abbott and Costello skit. She called my mom to let my mom know that she had gotten a picture of Dax and I, and how handsome Dax looked, and how good I looked with short hair. So this is the picture. I don't know. I don't think I've ever shown y'all anything. So this is the picture. I'm sorry, my camera's not focusing on it. That I sent. This is Abigail, Addison, Wyatt, and Kirsten. Kirsten hates the picture because she's leaning in and she thinks it makes her look super hippie. Um, but that's the picture that I sent. I don't know why my aunt only maybe she thinks she doesn't know the other people. And to be honest, they live down in the valley and she hasn't actually been around the kids that much. So especially with the stroke, it's not that far out there to think that she just doesn't know these people. And Wyatt does look very much like Dax. I'm not sure which one of those she thinks is me. But anyway, my aunt had called my mom to tell her that because my aunt wanted my mom to tell me how beautiful I looked. So my mom calls and she's like, "What picture did you send to Melba?" And I said, "A picture of the kids from Addison's wedding." And my mom says, "Whose kids?" And I'm like, "Whose kids would I send her a picture of, Mom? Strangers' kids? My kids." And she's like, "What picture?" And I said, "The one with just the 4 kids." And she's like, "Well, she thinks there's only 2 people in the picture." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, Mom. There are 4, and they're my kids from Addison's wedding. I don't have a picture of any other kids from the wedding that Melba's related to." So, my mom. Now you know where I get it. Okay. For Christmas, Dax, he ordered it. I wrapped it and made him wait until Christmas to have it. He bought a speaker because he's got a 1980 Camaro with a 1980 Camaro push button radio. Those of you who know, you know what it's like. You push the button and the radio stations are garbled until it gets to that one station. Then it never picks up clearly. But we didn't want to spend hundreds of dollars having that replaced, trying to make it look authentic to the car and all of that. So he bought a Bluetooth speaker, but it has the 2 little speakers, they're joined, and a handle. So on Christmas Day, he was figuring out how to connect it to the Bluetooth and how to the different settings and all of that. So he was having flashbacks. He was walking around with it up on his shoulder. We're nothing but fun around here. So from my 20 last year, my 7 projects that I finished, this, and you will notice not a single one of them is FFO. So this one it came in a kit from China. I call it the summer tree. I don't actually know what the name of it is. This one is the fall welcome. And I have the stuff to finish this one. I ordered fabric to finish on it and maybe make it into a pillow. I ordered fabric to get it finished, and then I couldn't find the piece. Which I did find it. I found it in the box with all of my un-FFO'd finishes right where it should be. So maybe I'll get that one FFO'd. We'll see. You will notice a theme in this of I couldn't find, which is why my word for this year is organize. I want to get at least some things organized so I don't spend more time looking for things than actually getting to make. So anyway, that is my focus for this year. I've started somewhat in here, but first and foremost with my closet. We have a huge closet that has slowly closed in. It's time to get rid of things and to organize the other things. Honestly, it's probably time to just throw away the closed basket of mismatched socks and go buy some new socks and start over. That will probably make a huge difference, clear up a lot of space. This one was out of a cross-stitch magazine. It had something about chocolate. I just did the little bear with all the goodies. That one went really quick when I finally worked on it. This one you just saw, it was my most recent finish. I think it was in the last video. I'm just always glad to get any of them finished. This one I finished obviously earlier in the year. This one came in a kit. It's missing some snowflakes because I'm off in some places, and so I just put snowflakes in where they would fit. This one was a restart and a finish last year. Once I restarted it on this fabric, I hated the fabric it was on, and so I would work on it like 5 stitches and then get frustrated and quit. So I decided that was stupid. I restarted it. Got it finished pretty quickly because I didn't hate working on it. I did, and I think this was a freebie from Janlin. I think that's right. But this was all sectioned off the beehive. I'm sorry, the bee skep. I always forget that I'm fancy like that now. It was all kinds of back stitching all over the place. I decided to just go with lines because I'm all about the easy. And the most important finish is why it's stocking. I did finish it. I did finish it on December 31st at like 11:45 in the morning. So I couldn't be more thrilled. I know I said that I was going to finish this come hell or high water, and I got both. Kirsten called one day last week while we were on our way home and said that, or it might have, I think it was actually before we left the office. I don't know, it was in the evening. That she was in the shower and the water started backing up in the shower, and so she stopped and got out to see what was going on, and it was backing up from the bottom of the toilet. So I had her turn off the water at the toilet to see if that helped, if something was wrong with the toilet, and it didn't. And then so I told her how to go out to the well house and turn off the water to the house, and that we were on our way. So we got home, and by the time we got home, she'd been elsewhere to investigate. The water was backing up in all the bathrooms. Actually, except for out here. I have a half bath out here, and it did not back up into here, but it did into our bathroom, which is right on the other side of the wall. There was a clog in the septic line, like this far from the end of the line at the septic tank. We have a 2-tank, 3-tank system. I don't know, but there was a clog in the line. So the water backing up into the house, as far as I'm concerned, that's high water. The fact that it was septic water is where the hell comes in. When we got home, the house stunk. It was bad. We got it unclogged. Couldn't find a plumber to come out anyway, but Dax managed to get it unclogged, and then of course we had to clean up all of the bathrooms, thank goodness we have one of the steam mop things so that we could, besides all the towels that we used cleaning stuff up, we still could steam mop everything and really make it clean. And so then, of course, you know, it's 9 or 10 o'clock at night and we're having to do all of the laundry. And it was a joy and a pleasure. Always something fun at the Verley house. But I did get hell and high water trying to get this thing finished. Now, I have confessions. On the back stitching, I did a ton of long stitches and couching. The back stitches weren't showing up well, like right here down the house. That is all one stitch couched in. You know, the same across here, down the chimney. It's all one long stitch couched. I did a bunch of that on the reindeer. This is, the instructions call for to make your own cording with 2 strands of yellow and 2 strands of some gold filament stuff. I had done that up here and I didn't like it. I pulled what was out up there and redid it with, I used the gold that Colbin sent me. Colbin is finding her way into very many of my projects. She calls it Satan's pubic hair, which it is a nightmare to work with. Like if you cut it, all of the strands that were wound together just do like that and pop apart. I couldn't get it in the needle. I couldn't get it in the needle with the threader. I couldn't get it in the needle without a threader. So finally I got tired of trying and I glued the ends and stuck them all together to get them through the needle. And I put a very long piece on the needle and I did not unthread that needle. At one point I had 3 needles hanging on here at different spots for what I was doing because I used like the gold filament to couch all of this gold on. Like this is one length from here. I just did it, came up here, went back down here, and then couched it in and pulled it tight. But I used the gold filament kind of thread to do the couching on that. So I had a needle with it, a needle with the thick stuff, and my black back stitching needle. Another confession that I have to make. When I was back stitching right here on this reindeer, that horn part going across right there, I have no idea where that came from. It's not on the pattern anywhere. It is. I kept going, what is that? Why is that there? So I made up the back stitching on it, but it seems to work. It seems to work. I'm pretty sure there are some French knots that I did not put on here. All I did was the beads here, which came with it. But anyway, it's done. Even with my cheater steps, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I am thrilled to death. So, I showed it to Dax, and he's like, that's a lot of work. You know, are you going to lecture Wyatt before you let him have it? And I said, I'm not letting him have it. He can come over here and take his stuff out of it, and then and that's it. I'm just kidding. At some point, I'll let him take it home. So, those are the things that were in my 20 that I finished. Also, in my 20 that I've worked on, my Solitude by Mystic Stitch. This one I was so struggling with, but I finally got that one all filled in and managed to get all of this done in just one. I've only worked on it once since I got this all filled in. And I'm going to continue working in just the 10 by 10 squares because it's working for me. I'm like, based on what I did here over the last year, that's like a miracle. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm quite happy with that progress because I was actually just getting it filled in, and it felt like it felt like I could see a light at the end of the tunnel. Even though there are a ton of pages, I felt like I could pick it up and actually make progress. So we're going to continue with that. I also worked on my Paula Vaughn friendship quilts. This year, I think my goal is going to be just to get this half of the pattern done. I mean, wouldn't it be lovely to get the whole thing done? But let's try to be realistic here. So anyway, this time I came down with more of this here. These are all half stitches, and worked more in the quilt on the chair. So oh, this one's in the wrong pile. Sorry. This is another one I worked on. It was just crazy for cross stitch. I don't know when. I don't think it says on here. It's just out of a magazine page. I wasn't stitching that. I picked, I just stitched 4 little squares just because I wanted them for a pillow. So there, that was a finish. That was a finish. I managed to do, I did these 2. I think I already had these 2 in. And so I did those 2. So that was another finish. Hooray. Okay, back to my 20. This is a Mirabilia Santa's Magic. Okay, Shelly, his face is just right here. There's his eye, there's his nose. The rest is his beard. So, anyway, this is where we are. This, I don't even know if you can see it. This last time, mostly I worked on filling in the white, and then some of this here. I don't really, have any goals. The prospect of that getting finished next year is slight, but progress is progress, right? This one is out of a magazine. I don't know if it tells me anywhere. I don't think so. It's called New England Summer. And I'm just doing it on a little piece of scrap linen. This time I worked on the barn, mostly, I think. So, I have hopes that that one can be finished this next year. It's not that big. Happy Everything by Imaginating. Yes, Imaginating Ink. It was designed by Diane Author. All of these, I think I said, will be carrying forward into, obviously, they weren't done, so they're still on the list of my 20 oldest. This time I worked over here on the E. Right now I'm putting in that white picket fence. Do you see it? Me either. Me either. I can't see it. That's one of the reasons I came and I put in the flowers here, because it goes up here and it's all around here. I was a little bit frustrated by that one. That one was getting to me. From Portrait of a Cowboy, I'm working on this one. Shootout. Dax is a huge Wyatt Earp fan, which is why we have a kid named Wyatt. And I worked on this one this morning. So if you saw my Instagram post, which you can follow me, it's at TV Designs. I hardly ever post there, but I did post my 20 from the start of the year to the end of the year. But this one I worked on this morning. So if you saw it on Instagram, it didn't look like this. I finished filling in all of this. I brought this the rest of the way down and filled in all of this. So I was thrilled to accomplish that much this morning. And then somewhere I have what's coming forward. The ones that are being added to the 7 new ones for my 20. Well, I already pulled them out. Where did I put them? See? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's what I did. Those were everything that I've worked on since the last time that's part of my 20. Well, not really everything, because I have worked on Brooks Books, Animal Advent, and since last time I have worked on the elephant. I think last time I just had his little legs. I was missing a color of floss for his legs and that pale pink in the package. So I got those and I worked on him a little bit. This one, I have high hopes I can get it finished. So these are all the ones that I haven't worked on since you last saw, but it'll give you an idea of where things are 20 for my 20, where they are. Abigail's stocking. For the Animal Advent, I'm going to work on it on Sundays after my new start until it's finished. It will be a Sunday project. This is Abigail's stocking. I have to put her name in, bring the candy cane trim the rest of the way around. I have this one snowman and a snow cat right here. Hers is really pretty close to being done. I have high hopes that I can really get it done sooner rather than later. Sorry. Like I said, I've got stacks everywhere, and now I'm dropping stuff. Okay. I'm sorry if that's all noisy. Spirit Dancer. Earth Spirit. Earth Dancer. I wasn't even close. Anyway, this is where this one is. It would be wonderful to get it finished, but it would be a miracle. It would be a miracle for sure. I have my Dimensions mason jar lineup. If you're new and you don't know, I have a love-hate relationship with Dimensions. They're beautiful, and I love the way they look, but they drive me crazy. Anyway, so here we are. I really don't know what I don't have like a goal on this one. It's just to advance. I guess. This one goes really slow for me. I'm not sure why. Out of Celebrations to Cross Stitch and Craft from Christmas of 1991. This is what it looks like on the front. I'm doing this white Santa in a stitch along with Colbin. if you're new here, it's not a stitch along with Colbin. She finished hers years ago. Not so much. Anyway, I would like to get this one finished this year. I don't know. I guess we'll see how much it comes up in the rotation. For everything that gets finished, and my 20, that gives something else a chance to come up more often. Because if I finish one and it was part of, like on my roulette wheel that I was working on one of my year of whips, that's what it's called on my wheel, projects, then I'm going to choose another one from that list. I'm not going to just randomly choose anything, if that makes sense. It's really kind of how it's going to be, even if it doesn't. Out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, July, August of 92. As you can tell, I'm way into new releases. This one, I love this one. I would love for this to be done this year. And one of the reasons I love it is because, sorry, things are falling. I am absolutely fascinated by the shading on the bowl and the apple, and it just blows me away. But we'll see. Once again, it's how often does something come up. Like this one, again with dimensions. Like I said, love, hate. It was on my 20 this past year, and it came up twice. So, if something doesn't come up in my spins more often than that, it's really hard to get it done. But I am happy with the progress, and I am loving the way it looks. I like it much better than the photograph, which is always the case, right? So, anyway, I don't have any ideas on how that one might go. It would have to come up a lot more often than twice. I don't think I can get it done in 2 sittings. So these are, I'm really trying not to kill you with all the noise. I think these are all ones that are going to be new to my 20. So, from Snowflower Diaries, sorry, from Snowflower Diaries, I've started these all at different times. January obviously was the oldest when I started, and then I didn't start any more until maybe this past year. I know I started a bunch of them during Stitch Mania to get on through, but here we are in January. This one better be done by the end of this year. If not, I'm going to have to seek help. Out of the March, April 1991 Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, this is what the front looks like. I'm doing the animal stack, but I am doing them like this, all together in one. And so far, I have a good portion of the cow. To me, it looks kind of like when the butchers have the different cuts of meat on a map. That's what I think of with that one. I don't know if that makes me sick or not, but that's what it looks like right now. Out of Cows and More Cows, which is funny, I don't really have a thing for cows. I'm doing this one, and I'm doing it because that just cracks me up. So, like I said, I don't really have a thing for cows. I like really kind of, country stuff, so I guess that's why. Anyway, here's where we are. That is one side of his jacket here and a window behind him in the house. She goes right here. American Gothic cows. This one, apparently, I started and have not touched it again. I guess I could look up when I started, but it's pathetic regardless. Simplicity of the Sheep Virtues. There you go. That's how much I've gotten done. I'm pretty sure I started this in the car on the way to do something, but that's our starting point. I am hoping above all hope that I get that finished this year. This is another start. I think this is it says Cooler Design Studio. It says fresh eggs up there. On my stuff it says rooster pen. That's what I call it. I don't know if anybody else renames charts, but apparently I do. I try to call them by what's going to make me remember what chart it is, which really doesn't matter all of that much because I keep my charts in date order from when I started it, oldest, and then the others get filed behind it, which you can't see my arm going out here. But anyway, apparently I have worked on that once, and that is it. This one has, I've got to figure out the pattern because I think that it's one of those where it's got the back stitching one place. There's stuff with the back stitching, you know, on the pattern. And then I think it's got the pattern without the back stitching. I haven't pulled it out and looked back at it again, but I think that's kind of the way that one works. And so I don't know if that's why I was having issues with it because I know what was going on. I mean, we'll be fair here. That I have lots of issues. Out of Cross Stitcher magazine from September 2016, I'm doing, this is called Days of Gold. I know, right? 2016. I'm like right up there, getting all current. This is where I am because every now and then I lose my ever-loving mind. I am stitching this one 1/1, which I keep saying don't let me do that, and then I go, this is 28 count. Gray Mist is what it says. I keep saying don't let me do it, and then I do it. This needle minder I made from a little, it's a leaf button that Kathy Davis had sent me some finishing stuff because she's incredibly sweet. And then I think this is the last one, Perfect Pumpkins. This one is what pops up. I work on it if I draw for Thanksgiving. And so now it's also going to be on my 2020. Hopefully we can get a finish this year, but I'm really only on the first pumpkin. But it is one I had to start over because I didn't like how it was going on the other fabric. So there we are. These are supposed to be satin stitched. I did that and those leaves and I hated them, so I pulled them out and just stitched them in because I'm like that. Okay, that is everything I've stitched on and what my 2020 is. My 2020. Stop living in the past. What my 20 projects, I really don't want to call them, I don't know what to call them because they're really not focus pieces. Although this year I'm hoping to get more progress. Last year they just came up more often because they're the oldest ones, you know, and so they have more opportunity to come up in my wheels and the craziness that they are. But this year on, like I said, Sundays is when I do my new starts. And Sundays after I do my new start, um, I'm going to try to focus on the animal advents until they're done. Um, but on Saturdays, instead of letting it just be any random wheel, it's going to be one of those 20 projects on Saturdays. They'll still fall in during the week from however my wheels spin and what they say. But as you can see, other projects do too. So this year I decided to do Saturdays for those. I haven't decided if I'm going to pick like the oldest one, like Abigail's stocking, and on Saturdays I'm going to focus on it until it's done and then move on to the next oldest one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. Okay, I showed you those. I was looking. I finished the year with 125 webs. Wow. I know that that's a lot. But I just saw Sherry Burkett, and she's got over 200, so I'm nothing. I got nothing. But considering I started one every week, and then several during Stitch Mania, I'm okay with that. That's wow. And like I said, this year I'm gonna start one it will be the same thing. I'm gonna start one every Sunday, and whatever, if I can get any Mania things finished, those days will be filled with something else. New starts. So, like I said, 125. I'm okay with that. Here's my ortometer. I got up there, we're up there. I decided since it's in a whiskey bottle, I would do a little tag. I wanted to do the wood burning to put the letters in, but I can't find the wood burner. See, organize. Organize. So, anyway, there we go. I think I did pretty good. I didn't even have to fluff it out. But, lucky for me, that's one of my favorite whiskeys. So I have another one to get this year going with. It's empty. Now, if anybody would like their own ortometer, let me know. I would be glad to empty a bottle and send it to you. It would be my pleasure. I can't tell you where I ended the year as far as my Stitch from Stash numbers go, because I need to go back in and I need to look up the prices that I've paid for stuff, because y'all, I needed someone here to stop me. I have been buying. And the crazy thing is, I sent some of the little wooden pieces that I used to make the snowman faces for the ornaments this year to Kelly, and she sent me a much appreciated $20 gift certificate for 123 Stitch, which she did not have to do. It was my pleasure to send her the little wood pieces. I haven't even shopped with it. I was sitting on eBay and, typed in cross stitch and then put in what's ending soonest. I wasn't even shopping for anything in particular, just scrolling through. Oh, bid on that. Oh, put that in your cart. Yeah, I needed help. And Dax won't stop me because he doesn't care. He doesn't, whatever. And Kirsten won't stop me. She's a cross-stitch collector too. So anyway, I have been doing some buying. When everything comes in, well, by next video, I will look up what I spent and calculate it all and everything. I'm going to show you some of what I have got. Before that, I have to show you. I couldn't find Dax's stocking. See, there it is again. So, he got to use a project bag for his stocking. He's like, what is this? I said, it's a project bag. Just open it. So, Kirsten and I were in Walmart at one point. And they had these. I was looking to see if it had a price on it. I don't see one. It's a charcuterie. But anyway, I thought that would be so cute for finishing. It's just plain on both sides. So I got that because I am always FFOing stuff. If you've watched me for any time, you know how I am about that. Off of eBay, I bought this little kit for this stocking. How cute is that? I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it's not cross-stitch. It doesn't count. You know, I love things that make me laugh. The more stupid, the better. Dax just shook his head when I showed him this. This is off of an Etsy store. Aliton Embroidery. Aliton Embroidery. It says I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. It's so ridiculous I had to have it. And then off of Etsy, see, the problem with Etsy is they go, hey, here's a coupon. Hey, your product's on sale. This one is called Merry Christmas. I don't see on here anywhere who it's done by. I just printed it in black and white. They had it done in dark blue. I haven't decided what I'm going to do it in. But isn't that pretty? It's got a little bit of the Quaker stuff. Santa and the reindeer, little town. I like this border down here. So yeah, we'll get to these. They're already, 2 years in the waiting. And then when I was on eBay, and I haven't gotten everything I ordered off of eBay. I got a lot more coming. But these two were PDFs. This one, it's called Cowboy, and it's by Stitching Jewels Designs. And this is, my dad is an artist. He's got maybe a bachelor's and a master's in art. I'm not sure. But it looks like stipple painting. That's where you do all of it's just a bunch of little dots, and the closer you get them together, you use that to make shading and stuff. And somewhere around here, I have a deer that he did, stipple painting, which he did in like 5 minutes. It's not on quality anything. He was just doing it, and I liked it, so I took it. But I thought this was pretty cool because it looks like the stipple painting. Can you see? Some of it's just single stitches. It says that it uses 20 skeins of black. So I'm thinking when, in a couple of years when it gets around to this one, I'll just order a cone of black. Or I don't know. I don't know how much is on a cone. Do I have to order 2 cones of black? I got plenty of time. Plenty of time to look into it. And then this one is by VJR Art Gallery. It is also off of eBay. It is also a PDF. But I thought it was absolutely beautiful. It is not stitched on black. It is full coverage. When I showed it to Dax, he's like, that's really nice. That's going to take 10 years. You ain't lying. Like I said, though, I love Santas. I love old world Santas even more. On the top of our Christmas tree is an old world Santa. Um, my family calls it the Eskimo. And I bought it to put up there because I couldn't find an angel that I wanted. I wanted an angel on the tree. Um, when I was growing up, we had an angel on our tree, and she was beautiful. Uh, her, all of her dress and everything was made of white feathers, and she had a very pretty porcelain face, and she was just beautiful. And I couldn't find an angel that I thought was pretty. You know, the features on the face. For me, that's the biggest thing. Kind of like in cross stitch. Sometimes the faces are like, ugh. And so I had bought the Santa and used it. I have since found an angel that I liked and that I bought and that I think is beautiful. She's dressed in a velvet dress, and I mean, she is beautiful. She's got a pretty porcelain face and all of that. But they won't let me not put the Eskimo on the top of the tree because that's what they're used to. So anyway, I love the old world Santas. I have a Santa collection that I put on the mantle in the living room. So this will, in 20 years from now, fit in nicely with the other Santas. That is all that has come in. Well, I haven't checked the mail today. There may be more out there. I don't know. But I have ordered other patterns. Like I said, I needed to be stopped. I have no business, but I do think I've gotten it out of my system. What I really should be buying is fabric for everything that I've got here. I am going to, like I said, be doing a new start every week and extra ones at Stitch Mania. I am going to incorporate the calendar ones that I've picked out. I mean, I've picked out 49 stitches out of the calendars, the like daily cross stitch calendars. I've picked out several patterns. I'm going to incorporate those with the other things. I haven't even been through all the years, but with the other things I already have, so that I've got both of them going, because I don't want those to get put off either. They were a gift, and I want to be able to use them. And so I'm going to incorporate them too and keep both things going. Like I said, I've got plenty of things. I probably now have enough stuff to start something new every week for the next 3 years, 2.5 at least. And if I start shopping again, it'll be 3. Dax is lifting his shirt up and rubbing his nipple. And dancing. I told him what you're doing. Now he's embarrassed. Anyway, that's why I don't usually have the curtain open. I think that's everything. I mean, it's over an hour. This is pretty long. I hope everyone has a fantastic year ahead of you. I hope you are blessed with joy and prosperity and abundance in everything. All your heart's desires. Like I said, this year my word is organize. I am working really hard at getting that going because that helps me be able to accomplish more when I'm not looking for stuff constantly. So hopefully I'll get some things FFO'd, keep stitching stuff, and I I hope we all make great progress this year. I want to thank you for all of you who come back week after week. I thank you for your likes. I thank you for your comments. I thank you for those of you who comment and message me on Instagram. I appreciate it. I am trying to be better about responding to comments because I do think it's important, and I don't want you to think it's unappreciated, because I appreciate it completely. Welcome to anyone who's new. If you're here and you come back and you enjoy it, like and subscribe. Isn't that what I'm supposed to say? So that you can come hang out with us even more and be a part of this crazy life of mine. But the truth of the matter is, I wouldn't have it any other way. We do what we do, and that's, you take life as it comes and try to find the good even in the sucky things. I'm not sure what the good was in the septic backing up, but it could have been worse. It could have been worse. So we'll take that as good. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful year. And I am hoping to be back on a more consistent, regular basis. Fingers crossed. Anyway, thanks, y'all. And we will see you next time. Bye.